Hi all, we're gonna check a game played by Rashid Nezhmetdinov. He was one of the greatest attacking players from the Soviet school of chess. In this game, we will see that he plays a really creative sacrifice, a long-term queen sacrifice, just for only 2 minor pieces. The game was played in 1962, and he was white against Oleg Chernikov. So Nezhmetdinov started with e4, and black played c5, the Sicilian Defense, and we got into an accelerated dragon after the move g6. So here black plans to fianchetto his dark squared bishop. So white played knight to c3, bishop g7, bishop b3, knight f6, bishop to c4. This is a very typical idea in this system. So white will try to put pressure on this diagonal, the a2 g8 diagonal. So, and here black played a move which is not the most popular nowadays, which is knight to g4. It is a move that will force some exchanges. Another alternatives here are d6, like more quiet moves, or a5. So here after knight to g4, this seems to blunder a piece, but the point is that after taking on g4, then black will capture on d4, as it happened in the game. Here white played queen to h4, which we can see that Nezhmetdinov is an aggressive player, so queen h4 makes a lot of sense. An alternative is queen to d1, just attacking the knight on d4, which is it's a strong piece, but on the other hand it doesn't have a lot of support. So after queen to h4, black played queen to a5, which has a possible threat of taking on b3 or even c2, and then capturing on c3, since the king is still on e1, so it's going to be a check. That's why white castled, which is a very natural move. And here black played queen to f6, since the e7 pawn was being attacked. So here this is a point where white made this pretty amazing sacrifice. We need to take into account that a queen normally is worth about 3 minor pieces, so that's why giving up the queen for the bishop here is pretty a shocking move. Probably Chernikov was not expecting this move. So white in return will get 2 minor pieces, the knight and the bishop. So what we can talk about, first of all, white will get the 2 very strong minor pieces that black had, which are the bishop, which is a very key defending piece on the dark squares, and also as we said, this knight on d4 with a good support can be a very strong, very dominating piece. So it has a lot of jumps. So this is one of the main things, the main points of the sacrifice. Another point that we'll see. So here black played an accurate move, which is knight to e2. So if he takes on the queen straight away, then after bishops take d4, we will get a similar version in the game where white has more tempi. So that's why knight to e2 is an intermediate move, which makes a lot of sense because the knight is going to be lost. So after knight to e2, taking on e2 and taking on 6, then white went back to c3. So white get here. So white will get 2 minor pieces. As we said, the dark squares are really weak around the king, also in the center. And there's another very important point of taking on f6, which is that after the capture the square d5 is gonna be a very weak square for black. So this square is very good for a knight. So as we said, normally a queen is worth 3 pieces, but here for only 2 pieces and very good pieces, white has a lot of compensation. So there's also another point that the position is very easy to play for white and not easy to play for black. So that's why in a practical game, so again I would even take here white. So even though the game is not decided yet, it's very easy to play. So as we said, so rook e8 makes sense to put pressure on the file, and after knight to d5, black defended on f6. Since taking on e4 would lose the rook after knight takes f6. So again bishop d4. So we see how really strong are all these pieces. So then they are attacking already f6. So that's why black defended. Rook a to d1. We also see that white is already ahead in development. So the rook on a8 and the bishop are so far not playing. So there's also another point of the sacrifice is that white is quicker here. So, and after d6, here comes a very nice rook lift. So now white will be the one attacking, either on h3, on f3, sometimes on h3, attacking the king. Black developed. Here white played rook f3. Knight f6 actually was already strong here, so just to illustrate that white's position is very good and easy to play, since after taking on f6, rook f3 will gain back material. So after rook f3, bishop to b5, here comes a bishop c3 attacking the queen, and after queen d8 already white starts to cash in. So here the position is already very difficult to play for black. Black played the move bishop to e2. This is probably a critical point, but the best line, I checked this position with the engine because it's very difficult to find a move for black. Here the engine gives rook c8. One of the point is to give the rook for this amazingly strong bishop. And well, after knight e8 and bishop e6 and knight f6, king g7, rook d1, and then given the rook and queen a5, here white has 2 rooks for the queen, so his position is probably better, but it's still the game will continue, so it's still a bit complicated. So another alternative was to take on f1. So here we can see the tactical genius of Nezhmetdinov, because here he would get a winning attack after knight g4, and here black has to play f6, since after a move like king f8, then bishop e6 would be very strong. So after f6, bishop e6 also is very strong, and white has a pretty much win attack. So we see just 3 minor pieces plus a rook. So we see, looking at this guy, so we see that the position is kind of hopeless for black. So I think this game is pretty nice to see how black has a queen, but how the minor pieces are really stronger to attack. So after bishop e2, here comes a very strong move. Actually, white really had to play very accurately. Knight takes h7, and after, here black check. Here black played king g8. After taking on h7, white gets a winning attack after rook takes on f7. So just don't fall for rook f3, which bishop h5 would be a good move. No, not king g8, because this would be checkmate, but bishop h5 is strong. But here rook f7 is very strong, and after king h6, bishop g7, king h5, bishop e6, and this position is also hopeless for black, because bishop f6 and rook h7 will be coming next, and again this rook and two minor pieces are attacking the black king. So after king g8, rook h3, black has a very simple plan of attacking the king. Black played rook e5, and again Nezhmetdinov believes in the power of the minor pieces, played the move f4, not taking the rook. And here after bishop f1, again he took the bishop, not the rook. And after rook c8, this is already a bit late, because white played a very quiet move, bishop d4, keeping the bishop. And basically black's position will fall apart. So b5, knight to g5, attacking on f7. So as we said in the opening, this bishop sometimes gets to be really strong on the diagonal. So black defended with rook c7, but here came another combination, which is bishop takes f7. And after rook f7, I will ask you to pause the video and find the winning trick for white. So here Nezhmetdinov played rook to h8, check, and so she has to take, because otherwise the queen will be lost. And after taking, then knight f7, knight takes f7 is a knight fork, and we get the queen. And then after a few moves, we see that white has two minor pieces and a pawn for the rook, so that's why black resigned. So this is arguably the greatest queen sacrifice ever in chess history. So I think that what we can learn, the main point here is that when you play these lines where you fianchetto your bishop, so you have to be really careful about giving this bishop, not even for a knight. Sometimes it's given for a knight, for example for the knight on c3 to break the pawn structure, but just be careful to give it not even for a rook also, but even for a queen. So be careful, because it's a very important defending piece. So this is the most important piece in black's position. So that's all for today, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.